All right, welcome guys, welcome. Let's make sure the audio is working correctly. All right, well, seems like everything is in order. Hey, do nothing, what's up? What's up? Everything's okay for me so far. Busy day today for me and my family, particularly just me. But oh hey, 4 likes. Thank you guys. Thank you. And yeah, I think we're set to go here now. Okay, welcome to tonight's CFO live stream for Thursday. And if you guys didn't know what the live stream schedule was, make sure you guys remember this. It's every single Tuesday and Thursday. And the timing is a little bit different. For Tuesdays, we have the live starting at 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, for Thursday, the live streams begin at 8 p.m. on the dot Pacific Standard Time or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. All right, so let's begin. Hopefully you guys have read the description box down below. As always, I highly recommend you guys do that every single live stream, even before it begins. So we're gonna go over a potential post-earnings play on Adobe and then talk about the state of the market. But during this kind of technical analysis night, I'm going to be doing a lot of TA, so be prepared for that. But I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of some technical indicators that I sometimes use here and there. Now, obviously, you guys should know that I rarely use technical indicators, and if I do, it's always the relative strength index, which I am showing you guys right now down below, the RSI. All right, I truly believe this is one of the easiest and kind of the most reliable technical indicator, even though I would say from a general standpoint, there really isn't a reliable technical indicator. The only thing that you can really trust that's not lagging is the actual price and volume, right? So every single technical indicator, including RSI or the relative strength index, is a laggard indicator, okay? But I truly believe RSI can be one of the best, if not the best, lagging technical indicator out there. But I want to show you guys some other ones as well, and kind of show you guys how I use them, and in tandem with my RSI as well. All right, sounds good. Okay. So with that in mind, let's go over Adobe. And hey, I see you guys are, yeah, the hearts right there. Thank you guys. Okay, so Adobe, what an amazing earnings report and earnings reaction. Okay, the reaction is what matters the most. And now you guys might be hitting yourself saying, oh my god, I didn't play the earnings reaction. I mean, you don't need to, right? Because there's still an earnings move after the earnings reaction, after the initial earnings reaction. And I truly believe you can still grab some great results and profits from a post-earnings play. Okay, and because that's usually what happens when we have a nice drive up higher, we tend to continue to drift off post-earnings. So that's exactly what we want to do here. So that's kind of the premise of this post-potential earnings play on Adobe. So first of all, based on this weekly time frame, let's take a look at the technical analysis only and take out the RSI. So we've reached a critical point on Adobe about 3 weeks ago, including this week. And on this weekly time frame, we reached a critical level of previous resistance at $438.50. I made note of this back when we fell lower and lower, and also I took note of this when this was a potential mean reversion trade. And so on Adobe, this is a pretty critical line in the sand level, and I'm really glad that it was able to hold this pretty well back to back in the past 3 weeks here, including this week obviously. But in these 2 weekly candlesticks, we made a very nice tiny, I guess you call it a tweezer bottom, right? A little nice double bottom here. Okay, and the price was able to lift off and move away from this 438.50, further proving my point that this is a line in the sand level. And so the earnings reaction, well, yeah, the earnings reaction basically confirmed even more that this 438.50 level was a critical level that this name had to hold, and it was able to catapult away thanks to the earnings report that came out tonight. And I believe after hours the price is sitting at around 435 if I'm not mistaken. Let me actually make sure that is correct. Okay, so I mean, I don't really look at the stock after hours or after market close, the true market close. Oh, okay, so after hours it closed at 526.43, and I believe the high was made around 536. That's right, so 536.80. Okay, so we got pretty darn close to this next resistance level of 539 or around 540. And so basically, if we're able to hold gains overnight at 526.43, and during pre-market hours tomorrow, if we're able to hold around at least above 520, there is a likely chance, and there is actually a pretty high probability that we can see some very quick early morning profit taking, which can push the price lower. Now, if you go back on the daily time frame, okay, this is a very, very big gap up, right? I mean, we gapped up over 15% at the highs after hours, and we closed still at a pretty high number of 14.76% after hours as well. So if we're able to continue to push up higher after the early morning sell-off, then we can continue to go up and hit this 539 or 540. Again, it doesn't really matter, it's just a $1 difference compared to this, you know, very big range price action on this name, right? So this is a name that has a very large price action every single day. It can range from, you know, $3 to around $10 or even more than that, right? 10 points. So you know, again, this little difference between 539 or 540, it really won't matter in the bigger perspective, the larger perspective as well. So you guys can use 539 or 540, whatever you guys want to choose. Okay, it's the same thing at this point. So now, if we do see that early morning sell-off, as people quickly take profits into the gap up, since they also, especially with people who have held option contracts to gamble, again, when you're gambling earnings, it's a 50-50. All right, so it's literally gambling, like quite literally, it is gambling. So for people who have gambled, and congratulations for being so lucky to have, you know, the earnings gamble work out for them. They want to take profits very, very quickly because they do not want to experience an IV crush where the IV rapidly goes back down, taking along the premium with it. So they do not want to see their early morning gains being immediately crushed and losing all of their overnight and morning gains. So they want to take profits, and that will also create some pressure for the underlying share price, and that will eventually move the price lower. And so the first area that we need to see the price being retested, if we do see that pullback in the early morning, will be 516.50. This is the daily level of resistance that we saw back in mid to late March, and a very nice level of support from mid-July all the way up into October, where we saw some very good but very volatile consolidation, and then that immediate larger move back higher and breakout higher as we head into November and into December. Okay, so this is a pretty critical level of previous support and also a previous resistance as well, but now it's going to be a new level of support again if we do see a retest of 516.50 tomorrow morning. Okay, if we do see that pullback. Now, oh, I gotta kind of slow down there on my pace and drink some water. So hopefully you guys are staying hydrated as usual, right? I mean, everyone should be drinking a good amount of water, at minimum 2 liters of water. So Adobe here, this is the first line of defense, kind of a support area. 516.50. However, However, if you do see further digestion tomorrow and for the rest of tomorrow, like on Friday, there is a slight chance that we can see a move back down to retest 500. And actually, I would not be mad about that. I actually wouldn't, well, I wouldn't be mad about it. I will actually welcome it because that's actually a good psychological level for the price to hold. And if it does hold, then to me, in my eyes, that tells me that this earnings reaction is valid. The share price can stay above 500 and it shows that it has value staying as a share price of $500. So that's exactly what the company will be telling me. This company has the rights to have its shares over $500 or $500 per share. And so if we do see a move back down to 500, and if you continue to digest tomorrow the entire earnings move up, or not entirely, but if you do see a move back down to 500, I really want to see a nice pivot at 500 in the next coming days, or on the same day that we do see a retest of 500, and then we can start moving back up higher. Okay, and so again, I mean, I don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow morning, pre-market hours. I don't know if we're going to be pushing up higher or maybe pushing down lower. You know, maybe, who knows, we might be underneath this 516.50 level by the time the market opens up. Who knows, right? But the bottom line is, these are the two daily levels that you guys need to be watching for. Okay, you guys have to be watching these two levels because it's essential to understand where the post-earnings play can happen, especially if we're able to get really good pivot bounces. Okay, and that can be a very good entry point for us as the price continues to drift off into the sunset and higher into space, I guess, as a post earnings run up higher, right? A post earnings drift up higher or sail up higher. It doesn't really matter what term you use. They all mean the same thing. Now, for targets wise, okay, the first thing that I'm looking for, the first target will be, again, 539 and 540. Okay, it's both interchangeable levels at this point, okay, or synonymous levels. So on the daily time frame, I really want to see the price hitting the daily 200 SMA because we're currently underwater, okay, based on this daily 200 SMA. So, you know, just based on the daily 200 SMA, we can kind of, it's not a correct presumption or assumption, but we can quote unquote assume that the long-term investors are underwater because the price is underneath the daily long-term 200 SMA or simple moving average. Right, that's kind of how I view it in my head, and that's how important this daily 200 moving average is. Okay, the simple moving average. And so if we were to retest this daily 200 SMA, that will be our second major target. However, here's the thing. Since the price is reacting very positively to the upside, and if we do hold gains overnight and during pre-market hours, I would assume that the daily 200 SMA will continue to curl down as it has been for the past 2 months. Okay, and if it does continue to curl down, then at some point the price can retest the 340 or 540 or 539 levels, and it also can coincide with this daily 200 SMA if we were to assume that this daily 200 SMA will continue to curl down, and at some point it can converge right on top of excuse me guys, of 540 and 539. Okay, and so we can get a simultaneous retest of this area of 539 to 540 and this daily 200 SMA. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and okay, perfect. I see you guys' reactions there. All right, so For Adobe, that's kind of the play that I'm looking out for. For option contracts, I don't know if I'm going to be playing options. I know because the premiums will be inflated. So, you know, there's a chance, well, there's a high chance that there will be some long-term investors or long-term traders or long-term mindset traders who will be selling some premium to kind of capture a potential bottoming move if we do see a digestion tomorrow, and continue to hold on to those as the price goes up higher. There probably are going to be some put sales as well tomorrow, which I'll be looking out for on Adobe. But if we do see a put sale, then that will definitely make sure to tell us, or that will confirm to us that again, this 438.50 has been the bottom, right, for quite some time. Now, with all that in mind, okay, let me show you guys something here. Okay, so Adobe on the monthly time frame has two different things going on here. Okay, and what I mean by that is this. So there is a potential for Adobe to be making a nice cup and handle chart pattern, a huge macro cup and handle chart pattern on the monthly time frame. And why do I think that? Well, first of all, we have this massive large rounding base here. Okay, and second, after we kind of topped out here and we start to pull back, well, now we have a nice large reaction to the upside if we do see gains holding, and based on that reaction, okay, we can see another smaller rounding bottom here. Okay, so let me actually give you guys a look at what that could possibly look like. So apologies about all the trend lines here. Okay, but these are my trend lines that are coinciding from all different time frames, which is the reason why you guys are seeing a very messy looking monthly time frame. But you guys should get the gist of this, right? So this is what I'm looking for, right? A nice cup and handle chart pattern with a nice neckline resistance of this cup and handle, okay, with a descending resistance trend line. This is a huge macro descending resistance trend line that will be a part of the neckline resistance of this macro cup and handle chart pattern. So this is exactly what I want to see, right? Now, the other possibility, okay, is this. So we're gonna keep this macro descending trend line, or if we are looking for a cup and handle chart pattern, the neckline resistance. But in this other case, okay, we could be making a huge, massive, very, very massive, okay, wedge, right? There's a huge, huge wedge, and this can break out to the upside, and we possibly could be seeing Adobe hitting, you know, 800, 900 in the not too far future, maybe next year, next year. And so Adobe can also become a very nice long-term investment, which I've always touted, even back in the actual lows here, back in October of 2022. If you guys remember, I talked about Adobe, that you guys should be you know, grabbing some shares around 275 or 274.50, and look where we bottomed down, right at this level. A very, very nice value area, or very nice line in the sand level at 275 or 274.50. Okay, again, both synonymous levels, only 50 cents apart for such a wide trading name. Doesn't really matter what levels you guys choose. Okay, so similar to this level, this 438.50 level has become a pretty nice bottoming level as well. Okay, it's a nice line in the sand, nice value area. It was a huge level as well in the past, in the previous years. So I'm really glad that the price was able to hold it. Okay, and the earnings reaction tonight also further confirmed my suspicion. So those are your two scenarios or two situations that you guys should be looking out for. Well, two scenarios, that's the correct term. I don't know why I doubted myself there. But Adobe, okay, let's kind of summarize this now. From a macro standpoint on the monthly and the weekly time frames, we can be looking at either a huge cup and handle chart pattern or a very nice macro wedge chart pattern with a nice descending resistance trend line and a nice ascending support trend line. Okay, so make sure you guys have all the levels that I just talked to you guys about, and also the 200 moving average as well, because the 200 moving average has closed today at $544.35, and tomorrow it will open up to a different price, but most likely and probably 100% guaranteed from my perspective, it will open up lower, so maybe around 543 or 542. Okay, so it's getting very, very close to this daily resistance level of 539 to 540. Now, one last thing. There's a massive gap down area that the after hours price action has begun to fill in. Okay, and at the highs of the after hours price action, we nearly filled in about, I would say, like nearly 50% from this candlestick to this candlestick. Okay, so let me actually make it like that. Okay, so we nearly completed 50% of this gap down area. Okay, the filling in action. So I truly believe if we're able to continue higher, we will definitely fill in this gap down area, as the after hours price action will scare a lot of the shorts who have been short in this area, and we can take out basically the supply, which are the sellers, and we can see a bit more bullish and buying fervor coming back in to eventually fill this gap down area. Okay, so that's one of your also another one of the areas that you guys need to be looking at if you guys are looking for some short to mid-term targets. Okay, so if you're able to break over the daily 200, the 539 or 540, then you can also be looking for 570 as your next major target. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so I've been talking about Adobe for quite some time now, so hopefully you guys are understanding. Hey, what's up, guys? See some more people coming in and joining in. What's up, what's up? So I've been talking about Adobe for the past nearly 20 minutes here. I believe I began around the 2 to 3 minute mark, so and we are in about 24 minutes in the live. So hey, 7 likes. Wow, thank you guys. So that's it for Adobe. Okay, and hopefully you guys are able to use this information really well, and most importantly, apply it, right? Because I always give you guys valuable information, but most importantly, applicable information that you guys can potentially and actually execute on your own. All right, now let's talk about the markets. So first of all, the bond markets. Okay, the bond markets have been very, very strong today. I've seen some news that we had some bond auction today, and it turned out to be very, very nice. And TLT here, the 20+ year Treasury bond ETF, has been breaking out really well. And as I've said to you guys on Tuesday and last week as well, the bond markets have been clearly pointing towards a potential rate cut coming up before this fiscal year ends. So TLT has been performing very, very well, including today. And IEI has also been doing very well today, the 3 to 7 year shorter term Treasury bond ETF. And hey, what's up, guys? What's up? Welcome, guys. So you guys just missed out on my Adobe technical analysis breakdown. So I just went into really in-depth technical analysis for Adobe. So make sure you guys watch the recording. Truly, I really, really want you guys to watch the recording, because I really break down Adobe and what I'm looking at Adobe for the short to mid to long term perspectives. Okay, and if you guys are finding this live stream very, very useful and of course applicable, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. It really helps me understand what type of content that you guys want from me, and also it really helps me understand if you guys are enjoying the content, or if you guys are finding the content very, very valuable and applicable. Okay, all right, so with this in mind, right, the bond markets, the equity markets have actually been a bit of a laggard today, even if we saw a nice pivot near the end. And so this market pivot was really nice. However, the overall market breadth was a little bit weak today, even if we did see a pivot. So we need to see the market breadth kind of catch up. Yes, the market is a bit overextended at this point. Even the RSI is overbought at 72.80 today at the close for the value of the RSI. If you guys see down here to your bottom left of your screen. And what I really liked about today's action was that we held this 540 level. This is now a new psychological whole number level, 540, that we need to be holding on to for the rest of this week. Okay, for the rest of this week, including next week as we head into June OPEX. Okay, the monthly OPEX. And I gave a huge breakdown to kind of my long-term thoughts on rate cuts, and also about what should happen next week, since we do have a federal holiday that the markets observe, Juneteenth on Wednesday. So it's a shorter week, and we have a monthly OPEX for June next Friday. So I have a huge, very detailed breakdown in the private CFO Discord. So if you guys want to join us and be able to read that, make sure you guys DM me at ChartsFocus1 to grab a seat for your first 30 days off at 50% off. Okay, so let me know by DMing me at ChartsFocus1 on Instagram. Okay, so just DM me. Very, very simple. Okay, so SPY, the S&P 500. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's see if we can get to 10 likes tonight. It's always the goal, guys. It's always the goal to hit 10 likes every single night. We are at 7 likes right now, so you just need 3 more, and we can head on to that 10 number. So the equity markets were overall a bit lagging, as again the market breadth was weak, and the market, the bonds market was they're doing pretty well, as I've just shown you guys. And so the bond yields, on the other hand, have been having a pretty rough 2 days, including today. Right, the 10-year yield continues to move lower, and this is also a great sign for mortgage rates too. So a 10-year yield is looking pretty good, and the mortgage rates will most likely start to head down as well pretty rapidly, as the overall markets continue to expect a rate cut coming in September. Right, and if you guys didn't watch any of my previous videos this week or last week, please go over them. I talked to you guys about some very important things on every single uploaded video and every single live stream since last week. So make sure you guys watch it. Okay, so overall the markets have been pivoting today at the end, especially near the end of today. But we need to continue to digest this big move from yesterday from the CPI inflation report for the month of May. As long as we can continue to stay above 540 for the S&P 500, we can continue to push up higher and possibly even reach 550 by next week, by next Friday, which is, again, the monthly expiration for the month of June. Okay, so the monthly OPEX for the month of June. So I have my eyes set on 550. So make sure you guys remember that. Okay. All right, so that is it for the market review. Again, I just want to do a very quick market review, as I've stated in the description box down below. And let's take a look at Reddit. So I want to show you guys my first technical indicator, the DMI, the Directional Movement Index. Okay, so here is the DMI, Directional Movement Index, and so far, the DMI has been showing some pretty good, indications that Reddit can't continue to go higher, right? And again, I'm not gonna go over how to use DMI. That's not what I'm here to do. Again, I barely use this. If I do use a technical indicator, as I've said earlier in the live, I only use the RSI, okay? But DMI, sometimes I take a look at it here and there, very, very rare. But from this standpoint for Reddit on the 4-hour or on the daily time frame, the DMI continues to show some really good strength here and momentum for a potential continuation movement to the upside, okay? And so I truly believe that Reddit can continue to trail up higher and just glide on up higher, including well, not just including, but based on today's candlestick, it's an inside candlestick. It's a very nice pullback at digestion day, but at the same time, it's a digestion and an inside daily candlestick. Okay, now obviously I would have liked it if you ended up with a small doji maybe, since this is a pretty big move down from today's perspective, as we are down literally negative 2.99%, so about 0.01%, or not even about, an exact 0.01% away from negative 3% on the day. So from a percentage standpoint, it's not good, but based on a technical standpoint, we are still looking at a very nice continuation for a movement up higher. Plus, it's an inside candlestick, which also indicates that the price can continue its current trend. And what is that current trend? To the upside. All right, we've been moving up ever since the first quarterly earnings for Reddit. Okay, and again, they had a surprising beat, a double beat, with revenue coming out very well as well. Okay. Right, and also again a pretty nice margin between the earnings estimate and the actual number. But yeah, anyways, so Reddit here, very nice. The DMI showing some very good potential for continuation on the daily time frame, and also the next technical indicator here is where is it? Oh, I should have. Oh, there it is. So the Bollinger Band, right? Bollinger, whatever you guys want to say. Okay, the Bollinger Bands or Bollinger Bands. I don't really know how you say it, but I usually say BB or Bollinger Bands. But they have begun to widen out. Okay, so it got pretty tight in the past couple of days here, especially last week, and now we've been breaking out, and we can continue to see a widening of the price here. Okay, and we can see a continuation to the upside for the candlesticks. Okay, so for the candlesticks here, as long as we can continue to tag the upper channel here of the Bollinger Bands, we should see a continuation. Again, we're seeing basically we're seeing a complement signal from the Bollinger Bands and the DMI. All right, I'm just basically trying to show you guys this. Okay, and again, I'm not really going to go over how the BB indicator works. Now, last but not least, where is it? We have the RSI, right? The Relative Strength Index. Okay, so this one is also showing some very good values here, right? Because first of all, the RSI is not overbought. We have a nice value of 60.17 to end the day, and having a nice RSI value between 50 to 60 is always a good idea for a strong momentum move to the upside. Why? Because it shows really good relative strength. And again, people tend to use the RSI in a very incorrect way, where they think that if the price continues to go up higher and the RSI continues to stay around 60 and continues to go to 70, which is the actual value of an overbought condition for the overall share price, they think that we need to see an immediate move down, right? However, that's not the case. Usually when we are heading up from the value of 50 to 60 to 70 for the RSI, that usually just tells you that the bullish momentum is strong and the buyers are still very much present. Does that make sense, guys? Right, and RSI is basically showing momentum as well. Okay, and the strength of the momentum for the buyers or the sellers, depending on what type of technical chart pattern or technical price action that you guys are looking at, or trend actually. Okay, so hopefully you guys are understanding this, right? And if you guys do understand that, make sure you guys smash that like button down below as well. Okay, so Reddit here, once again, all right, Reddit here, right? We need to see how it reacts tomorrow as well, especially if we do see another inside candlestick tomorrow on Friday. That'll be even better, because that means the price continues to get tighter and tighter, especially the price ranges, the highs and the lows will get tighter compared to today's highs and lows. And if you do get that nice, let me actually just draw it out for you guys. Okay, let me just give you guys a crude drawing here. Okay, So if it's a nice green candlestick, hopefully tomorrow. Okay, if you get a nice little tighter inside candlestick, we can continue to flag out and get tighter with an inside candlestick, and then see a nice breakout into the previous all-time high number at 74.90. Okay, so I have a maximum target at 80. So this is kind of a pretty radical target here. It's not a conservative target at all. More of a conservative target will be the previous all-time high number at 74.90, but I am looking for 80. All right. But again, that's just based on hopes here, hopes and dreams. However, this one has a lot of room to move. All right. Okay. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to show you guys some of the technical indicators that I like to use here and there sometimes when I really want to use them. But then again, bottom line is the only indicator that I tend to look at is the RSI. But if I want to look at other ones, I look at the BB, the Bollinger Bands, or the DMI, or the MACD, right? You guys should know what the MACD is, right? The MACD. Okay, let me actually show you guys this. Okay. Okay, so... Right, I mean, I don't think I really need to describe to you guys what the MACD is, but even the MACD continues to show another complementing signal. So all the technical indicators that I've shown you guys tonight are showing very good complementing signals that the momentum is where? To the upside, right? And the price should continue to move to the upside. So MACD can continue to move to the upside, all right? So again, here's the thing, guys. Here's another bottom line, right? So all of these technical indicators that I've shown you guys, all four of them are showing the same thing, which means, right? Which means we don't need them, right? And based on the price action alone, based on the technical chart pattern. Hey, what's up, Joel? Thank you so much for the comment. But basically, what I'm saying here is that we don't need the technical indicators because again, they're lagging anyways, right? They're based on the actual live data that we get from the price and the volume. And so based on the price and the volume, what has it been telling us for Reddit? A simple uptrend. And we should continue to move up higher based on today's candlestick, the previous day's candlestick, and the previous week's candlestick as well. Does that make sense? Make sure you guys like this live stream down below as well and smash that like button if this is making sense for you guys. Okay, so again, all the four indicators that I've just shown you guys, let me list it out. The RSI, okay, the MACD, the Bollinger Bands, and the DMI, right? The Directional Movement Index. All of them are showing the same damn thing. Okay, and the reason for that is, well, the price itself is showing great momentum to the upside. That's it. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. All right, well, that concludes our live stream for tonight. Oh, we're hitting the 40-minute mark. But after this live, I'll be going to the gym, so hopefully you guys are able to get some of a workout in before you guys sleep tonight. But or if you guys are more of a morning person, especially for the East Coast, and if you guys want to, if you guys do work out before the market opens, great for you. You guys should continue to do that. But hopefully this live stream again was very, very helpful. If you guys are watching this from the recording, make sure you guys smash that like button if you guys found the information very valuable, informative, and most importantly, applicable. All right. Okay, so that concludes this week's live streams as well. I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:15 p.m. excuse me, Eastern Standard Time. Again, 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great rest of your night and good luck tomorrow.